Hey guys, it is NCS Fan 001 here for another one of those weekly trophy list updates. Today's date is Monday, September 11th, 2023. So that means this will have covered the week of September the 3rd through the 10th, or no, it would be the 4th through the 10th of 2023. Anyway, this was a really unproductive week in terms of the actual number of trophies, but there is a very nice spot to it, and we are going to scroll really freaking far down on this trophy list to talk about it. Alright, I literally had to go to the very bottom of my trophy list to talk about this because this was one of the first games I ever obtained trophies in, so 8/20/2011, of course Fallout 3 was done before then, platinum-wise. Okay, so that one was in 2009, and this would have been in 2012, so I guess this was the fourth game I ever obtained trophies in, probably, because what's the other one? There's another one that's further up on the list, Resident Evil 5, that one is a lot further up, and I obtained trophies in it probably before. Well, you know what, now that I think about it, that was in 2012, so yeah, this was the third game I ever obtained trophies on, and the game is Call of Duty Classic. Like I said, I've gone back to the game to begin working on it for Platinum Trophy number 750. It is a pain in the ass to beat on Veteran. Now, here's the interesting thing about Call of Duty Classic. 30 of the game's trophies are super easy and can be done simply by completing the game on regular. You get a trophy for every single one of the story missions. Well, I don't know why I call it story missions because that's all there is in it. You get a trophy for every mission. You get 3 trophies for finishing all of the missions from each faction because there's American missions, British missions, and Russian missions. And then these 3 are also story related. So you're going to get all of those plus this trophy right here simply for completing the game on regular difficulty, which, to be fair, regular in this game is probably fairly similar to hardened in a lot of other Call of Duty games later on. It's still not overwhelmingly difficult, of course, but it is a little bit harder than you might expect for Call of Duty, even though this is such an old Call of Duty game. Along with that, there are 5 miscellaneous trophies, and I obtained every trophy in this game in the same day, 11, 12 years ago. Yeah, it's about 12 years now. I obtained all the trophies in a single day within about an 8-hour period, not even playing the full time. So yeah, 35 of the 38 trophies can be obtained at about a 3 out of 10 in difficulty within 8 hours. So your miscellaneous trophies in the game are you just have to complete a mission without dying or reloading a checkpoint, complete a mission without taking any damage. I actually did this while playing on Veteran on the first combat mission of the game. The training mission doesn't count. But you're going to get this one pretty much automatically, and then this one, if you don't get it automatically, which you probably won't, just replay the very first mission of the game on Greenhorn difficulty. That's the easy mode or the recruit difficulty. Complete any mission using only a pistol with no melee attacks. This is not where I got my inspiration to do my handgun-only challenge runs from. I completely forgot this was a trophy until I went back to this game. Complete a mission using only melee attacks. Again, pretty self-explanatory. Just do both of these on that very first combat mission. And then get a kill with a pistol, rifle, SMG, and grenade in one life without dying. So that's also very easily done in that very first mission of the game, if you don't just get it naturally at some point while playing through. So yeah, all the miscellaneous trophies are pretty easy, and completing the game on regular is pretty easy. So why is this Platinum Trophy so freaking hard? It's because of this one right here, War Hero. Now, Hardened, I'm saving for last. Hardened is already harder in this game than a lot of Call of Duty games on Veteran. It's definitely harder than, like, Modern Warfare 2019 or Advanced Warfare, Ghosts. Some of those games are on Veteran. At least that's what I assume. I haven't touched Hardened yet, but I assume it's harder than those because Call of Duty Classic operates on the old-school health system, where you have to pick up health kits to refill your health. And that is what makes Veteran difficulty so difficult. Because not only is it this old school health system, but on Veteran, you don't get health packs because someone over at Infinity Ward thought that was a good idea. And along with that, the checkpoints are a little bit inconsistent, and they can only appear if you have at least 33% health left. So pretty much you have to go through the vast majority of each mission without taking any damage, so you can save your damage usually for the end of it. For me, like specifically, the most recent mission I did was the Dam, which is one of the hardest ones in the game, and I actually did get it done so far. So at least I'm past that one. I'll talk about the missions here in a second. But yeah, veteran mode is brutally hard in this game. There's a reason why this is considered to be one of, if not the hardest Call of Duty game in terms of pure raw difficulty. It's certainly not the most time-consuming one. It's not even close. But this one veteran trophy is one of the hardest trophies, perhaps the hardest trophy in the entire Call of Duty franchise. So I've been working on the game. I recompleted the game on regular just so I could get refamiliarized with the game. But then I just started up on Veteran, and I started it up on either, like, I think Friday night or Saturday afternoon or something. And as of late Sunday, I've completed 12 missions of the game, so progress is going reasonably well. So training Camp Takoa is the training mission. I'm sure you can die in this one if you tried, but it's very, very easy. It's not really anything. I mean, it's a training mission. Then you have the basically combat tutorial mission. This one is pretty easy, even on veteran. I got through it without taking damage, like I mentioned previously. This is your first, like, true, real mission. It's not terrible, because a lot of the American missions, you can kind of sit back and let your allies do most of the work for you. It makes your life a lot easier. So that's what you can do with this mission. For this one, St. Marigly's Day, this one is not particularly easy because of the beginning part, because you have to get away from a tank that's shooting at you, and you have to get into a church to grab a Panzerfaust and then use the Panzerfaust to take out the tank. If you can get through that part of the mission, then the rest of it's actually pretty easy. I suggest taking another Panzerfaust with you to take out another tank later. Normandy Route in 13, this is the vehicle mission for the American campaign, and it's stupid because it's completely luck-based, because sometimes you'll get through areas without getting hit, sometimes you won't, and that's as simple as it is. You die in about 3 hits on veteran from most weapons, unless it's like a rifle or something, in which case you'll die in 2 hits, or like a tank or something, you die in 1 hit. So this mission is definitely kind of finicky because of that. Breakcourt Manor, this mission's actually fairly easy, even on veteran, because you can hide in the trenches for most of it and just pop out to pick people off with an FG-42 that's scoped that you can get in one of the bunkers. Bavarian Alps, Germany, this one isn't too bad. This is the one where you go into the chateau to rescue Captain Price. It's not too bad. I mean, I still got stuck on it for a while, but it's not anything unreasonable. This is the prison camp mission. This one actually wasn't as hard as yeah, that's correct. So this is the prison break mission. This one's not that hard. I thought it was going to be harder, but the time limit's actually pretty generous. You can get out with like 2 to 3 minutes left. So it's nothing really too bad. It's a pretty short mission at least. This is the beginning of the British campaign. This first one, this mission is short, but it just once again proves that Veteran was very poorly designed, because during it you have to destroy a tank using a flak gun, but first you have to run across the street where the tank is so it can openly shoot at you to talk to someone. Then you have to take them all the way back across the bridge to get on the flak gun, and then you have to move the flak gun all the way into the correct position to shoot the tank. So it's really, really annoying, because at any point during that, if you take a couple of hits of damage, you're going to die, and you're going to have to restart the objective. It's a very badly designed veteran difficulty on several missions, such as this one. Because, I mean, you die almost instantly when you're on the flat cannon, so you have to literally jump on it, move it for half a second, jump off, and repeat that process. And getting across the bridge is 100% luck-based, unfortunately. Sometimes you just won't have a chance to get across. So stuff like that is where they definitely could have made their veteran difficulty work better. This mission, I had some trouble with this one at first, but I found a way to do it. You can hide in one of the concrete things, or not even concrete, but one of the buildings right on the bridge. And there's an MG42 in there. Basically, you pop onto the MG42 for a few seconds to spray the area where the enemies are, and then pop off and repeat that process. At some point during that, you will be attacked from behind at least once, possibly twice. So jump off every few seconds and look back behind you and make sure that they aren't coming in from behind you. Then, once you get to the 5-minute defensive portion, you actually do not have to destroy the tanks. what you can do is you can hide in that same building that you're already in, because you'll get a checkpoint right there as long as you have some health. So you can literally just hide in that little shack and just sit there for the 5-minute timer, and you'll win because of that. I mean, you might get a couple enemies try to come in. You might get one or two across the river from you that can hit you if you don't kill them quickly, but it was the easiest way to finish it, in my opinion, because you don't have to run anywhere. And then, of course, there is Eater Dam. This is basically this 5-mission British section is the hardest part of the game. For the most part, there is one other mission later on. But this is sort of the main, or really it could be all 6 of these missions, is like the hardest sort of time in the game. So this one is fairly overall not that bad if you get a lucky run. This one, once I figured out what to do, wasn't that bad. Eater Dam is one of the hardest missions in the game, and it's really, really annoying because there's enemies around every corner. They're not infinite in this mission, which is really nice because there's some missions where you have infinite spawn points. This one they are not. But there are a lot of them, and you're going at it alone, so you have to do everything on your own. You can't rely on your allies as meat shields this time. Then you have Truck Ride to Airfield. This is where I stopped off for Sunday night because the Eater Dam was annoying enough. And I mean, I barely got out of it at the end. I had just a little bit of health left, but I knew that I was near the end, so I went ahead and just pushed it through because I wasn't going to get another checkpoint regardless. So yeah, Eater Dam took me over an hour to get through, like maybe an hour and a half total to get through. This one took me like half an hour to 45 minutes, probably about 45 minutes. This one took maybe 20 to 30 minutes. It didn't take too long. This one only took me probably 15 minutes. This one took me maybe 20, 25 minutes. I think this one took me about maybe 20-ish minutes. It's still, like I said, that one's not too hard. This one took me probably 15 to 20 minutes of just repeatedly trying it because it's so luck-based. This one took me probably half an hour. This one took me probably close to an hour. I struggled on part of this one for a while. And then this one only took me a few minutes, and this one, of course, only took a few minutes. So, coming up are Truck Ride, which is brutally hard because it's another vehicle mission that's purely luck-based as to whether or not you'll survive most of the time on Veteran. Airfield is a partially vehicle, partially flat gun mission, also very annoying, but not quite as bad as the Truck Ride. Then you have the Battleship, which is considered by some to be the hardest mission in the game, whereas others will consider the Dam to be the hardest, and then there's one other mission later on that's also right up there. Stalingrad, this one, or Volga River, this one's easy because there's not even any combat in it, you just follow instructions. This one's pretty easy as well. This one and this one are tougher, but they're nothing, like, brutally hard from what I can tell from when I played through on regular. This one can go die in a hole. This one is going to be kind of annoying, but not horrific, I guess. I mean, I feel like it's going to be kind of tough, but not the worst thing in the world. Same with this one. These are both tank missions, but they're both really short. And then this is the final American mission, and this one actually shouldn't be all that hard because there's kind of a way to cheat the final part of it, I guess you could say. Then this one is actually going to be fairly annoying, I think, and this one shouldn't be terrible. So yeah, once I get through it on Veteran, I will be able to go back and do it on Hardened, and I might actually stream my Hardened playthrough if I can manage to get through the really brutal remaining missions of Veteran difficulty. I mean, I got through Eater Dam, which is good, but again, I still have Truck Ride, Battleship, and Pavlov's House. So we'll have to see if I am able to get through it or if I quit and come back to it a few years later, because that's entirely possible. Alright, so now that we've talked about that, hopefully by the next time I do a trophy update, the game will be up near the top of the list. So I'm going to scroll on back up. Alright, we're back up to the top, so now I can talk about actual trophy progress this week. It was very minimal because I only went for trophies pretty much one day this week because I was mostly working on COD Classic a lot. So, Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed single player. I obtained 2 or 3 trophies this week, so currently I have basically 100%ed both Bay City and Albion. I don't know if there are any other missions that are going to pop up later, but I think those 2 areas are now 100% completed, so we shouldn't have to go back to them or anything like that. This is, of course, a collectible type. I've taken out the first 2, still 3 more. because we're most of the way through Takushima, at least for story, but there's still a number of side missions remaining as well as collectibles. And I am just going to grab collectibles off screen. I've mentioned that in the streams before that I'm going to do that for this version because the maps actually look different in the PS4 version. They're less detailed, so there's sometimes not buildings where buildings should be based on the PS5 version, so do keep that in mind. The guides you use for the PS5 version may not work for the PS4 version quite as well. Let's see. I don't know why that trophy image is still there. Okay, so we invaded Takushima. That's an unmissable story trophy you get when you enter Takushima, the third area of the game. 2 more story trophies. And then these are all story trophies. This is a story trophy for the end of Takushima. I haven't quite gotten there yet. I think it's 2 missions away from where I currently am. This is a side mission trophy for doing all the Arcboodle cult missions and then doing an extra odd job that pops up. This is a story trophy in Tunguska, the 4th area. This is a side mission trophy in Tunguska. And this is the final story battle. Demolish a public toilet on each map. Again, this I've only done on 2 maps so far. There's still 3 more to go. And then, let's see, this is for finishing all of the Arcboodle cult missions. This one I did get. This is for a side quest, odd job, whatever you want to call it, in Bay City, which is one of the hardest ones in the original version of Destroy All Humans 2 on the PS2. But this version of it is significantly easier because your weapons are, or just because the game is generally a whole lot easier this time around in most ways. Then, let's see. Haven't gone up Takushima Tower yet. I'm not sure I have all the upgrades yet for this. This is another Takushima trophy. This is a Solaris trophy. I could go ahead and do the skating trophy next time I'm on. That's in Takushima. And then 2 other skate trophies, all odd jobs. Then you have to find all the alien artifacts. I will find the last few collectibles in Solaris on live stream, but most everything I'm going to collect is just going to be done off screen because, like I said, the locations are a little bit different on the PS4 version for whatever reason. Gene Blender, I finished like 9 of those 15. And then, of course, you have to finish all of the optional mission objectives for all of these story missions. I don't think the side missions count for this. But so far, I think there's only one that I've missed. It's in a mission in Takushima because the objective ended too quickly. And I think I missed one in one of the side missions, but those are a little bit less important. So yeah, that's where my progress is on Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed. Like I said, not a whole lot of actual trophy numbers this week, but I'm very, very happy with the progress I've made on COD Classic, because we're effectively about halfway through the game at this point. I know that I'm only at 12 out of 27 missions, but a lot of the Russian missions are really short, like all the ones pretty much before Pavlov's house are fairly short. And then both of these vehicle missions, they're both going to be painful, but they're both fairly short as well. So we're effectively about halfway through the game. The only longer missions left are the last few Russian missions, the very, very last British mission, the battleship, and Pavlov's house. I am not looking forward to that one, but I've heard there might be like a spot you can go to stay safe. So let's go ahead and sync up trophies. So, level 837, 6%, 26,507 total trophies, 739 platinums, 4,830 golds, 7,081 silvers, 13,857 bronzes. So, plans for the upcoming week. Continue working on Destroy All Humans 2 Reprobed and COD Classic are pretty much the only 2 trophy plans for this week, as well as going back and starting some of these last few older games that I have downloaded that I want to play through at some point. So the other ones I would like to get through this month, if possible, maybe to break up COD Classic and Destroy All Humans monotony, would be Master Reboot on the PS3. That's like a 4-hour platinum. The Raven on PS4. That's like a 5 or 6 hour platinum. And Steins Gate on the PS3. We must have gotten it for free at some point, and I just haven't played it. That's like a 3-hour platinum if you follow a walkthrough. So those are kind of the plans for that. And then October and beyond, GTA 5, Shadow of the Colossus, Outer Worlds, and then a handful of other old games that I just haven't started yet, as well as other games that I do want to do someday, like the PS4 version of Resident Evil 4 Remake and the PS4 version of Resi 6, stuff like that, that I might still want to do someday because it would be cool to have all the numbered Resident Evils. So that's really about it in terms of plans for the upcoming week, in terms of trophies. In terms of videos and such, the schedule should be pretty normal this upcoming week. I don't know how many games I'm going to be going to this season because of how bad the season started, so football might not be quite as much of a deterrent or issue this season compared to previous ones in terms of affecting stream schedules. So we will see about that, though. Otherwise, I also did hear that the Fallout 76 DLC might not come out until like early 2024. So we might not be going back to that game until pretty close to Fosnock Day, but I guess we'll have to see about that. So yeah, that is going to be it for this video, guys. If you enjoyed it, hope you'll leave me a like and subscribe and ring the bell if you haven't already. Leave me a comment and let me know what you've been working on. And let me know any tips you have for the remainder of Call of Duty Classic, because I'm not looking forward to some of these remaining missions. Some of them aren't too bad, some of them are going to be absolute hell on earth. And in terms of the long-form trophy videos, the TIE video is up, of course, and the next one is Far Cry 6, followed by Modern Warfare 2 on the PS5, and that will be followed up by Killzone Liberation, and then after that it'll be Destroy All Humans, and then I don't know what the next one's going to be. I'm thinking Bugsnax maybe. I think that'd be a fun one to do, but we will have to see. So, thank you guys for watching. See y'all later this week for more trophy content.